I got to talk to some of the folks inside, Lucas, as well as Amelia and Molly and Denny, who's just too young. When I ran, I got elected at age 27. I didn't plan on getting involved in running for politics. My state was in a situation where we're a border state, and we have the 8th largest African American population in the country. And the problem at the time was we had we had a Southern Democratic governor. And when Dr. King was killed my senior year, when I graduated, we were occupied by the National Guard for the better part of 9 months, with drawn bayonets in every corner. The only city in America occupied by the military since the Civil War. And I got engaged with a group of young Democrats and to change the Democratic Party in Delaware from a Southern Democratic Party to a mainstream Democratic Party. And then next thing I know, I was asked, we kept trying to get people to run for office as mainstream and liberal Democrats, and it was hard to do. And finally, I had been working on with this group to do it, and they said, why don't you run for the county council, which was a district that is 3 times as large as a state senator and 7 times as large as a state house member, because one county of ours, like Illinois, has over 60% of the population. And the end result was that I ran after I was assured that I couldn't win because it was a Republican district. And I ran and I won because of an awful lot of young people. And by the way, I was talking to some of the high school young Democrats in there. And I told them something that my sister knew before I did. My younger sister, who was my best friend and managed all my campaigns. She was a teacher at one of the high schools. And we started to organize, because we didn't have any money, we started to organize young people in high school, not even college, in high school, to get engaged in our campaign. And they started calling the kiddie campaign to make fun of it. Well, we won. And we won in a district that no Democrat had ever won. And the next thing I know is Republicans decided they were going to reapportion me, because of the decennial census of 70, into a district that went from 60% Republican to 72%. So I was put in a position and I elected to a 4-year term, and they said I had to run again in 2 years. So I was, as they say in politics, up or out. And we couldn't get anybody to run for the United States Senate at the time. And they came to me and said, would you run? And I thought, I went to my deceased wife, who was my best buddy, now deceased, and she said, look, either get in or get out. So I ran, thought I think I could help the party. We put together high school Democrats, high school students, and we had a volunteer force in a small state, not a joke. They taught the course at Harvard for years, the Harvard Kennedy School. We in fact put together 20,000 volunteers, mostly high school students. And the end result was I learned something very early on, and I'm going to repeat it to all of you, both high school and college Democrats and young Democrats. The fact of the matter is, you have more influence on how your parents vote than they have on you. Not a joke. You may sit at the dining room table having dinner with your mom and dad and say, I met her and I really like her, or I met him and I really like him. And your parents will pretend that didn't matter much. But they'll go up, not a joke. They'll go up and say, if my kid liked that person that much and knew them, there must be something there. And I won. I won by 3,100 votes.